So we're very excited, slightly nervous, but that's great, for Signal Vibrant ceremony for the dead.
Wala group siwen, nildeliwis Ivanio Bemalo, Nujaya Wasibegok. Bonsoir tout le monde. Mon nom c'est Ivanio Bemalo, je suis de la nation Wolastoboyik de la communauté Wasibegok. Je suis aussi québécoise et je suis co-commissaire, mais commissaire pour les autochtones, commissaire autochtone au CCOV. Alors, très heureuse aussi d'être ici et d'être pour la deuxième édition de Signal Vibrant avec vous, en personne, à l'intérieur de cette salle-là. J'aimerais commencer avec ma façon de reconnaître le territoire sur lequel j'habite, sur lequel je danse, sur lequel je suis en relation. Et je vais le faire en Wolastoqey. Et Anako et Nate vont le faire aussi à leur manière. Donc, je commence. C'est une langue que je réapprends, donc je dois encore la lire, mais ça me fait plaisir quand même de la faire résonner dans cette salle. Et aussi sur Facebook Live. Wolazwel te morgen, Wolazwel te moltine, Wolazwel te moltine, chilpamaw sawagen, Woliwan chilp siwdegek, Woliwan chil zamagwen, Madachwen gedawesmil, Woliwan chilp skiquel, Chil Wali Mahaskil, Waliwan Chil Majawagan, Walam Wali Gizigotuak, Nijanuak, Waliwan Chil Bizun, Wedgie Gizibil Zoltiak, Waliwan Chil Chik, Chil Abiziak, Wigpiak, Nagastakwanik, Waliwan Chil Wazizak, Peki Tonia, Negamaw Chik, Waliwan Zipsizek, Waliwan Chil Zipsizek, Wali Tagudol, Talin Tawaganoal, Waliwan Chil Wajausen, Walangizi Walatimol Tiben, Waliwan Chil Bedagiyik, Pejik Tonia Kamiwen, Walam Sudegek, Waligizigen, Waliwen Chilgizus, Gladmel Wagen, Gladwen Magen, Spedel, Nagakwali Bezogen, Waliwen Chilnibauset, Knie Bayat Wen Magun, Waliwen Chil Bezezemek, Chil Alatwis Oltitit, Waliwan Skit Kamik, Chil Psiudegek, Eli Wale Winik, Nitepsil. Juste faire un petit mot, je viens de dire merci à toutes mes relations en Wolastoqey. Bonjour à vous deux.
Sitting here at the CCOV, within the ground, we are gathered on unceded lands, an urban island territory known as Jojage by the Kanien'kehá:ka and Munyang by the Anishinaabe. We are proud to be a place for dancing and for gathering, which has been the tradition of this territory and continues to be for many First Nations, including the Algonquin, the Huron-Wendat, and the Abenaki. I feel very fortunate to be here with you and the beautiful artists that will soon perform. This event is called Signal Vibrant, Ceremony for the Dead, because we want to acknowledge the moment. We want to remember those who have died and that link us across times and across ages. These relations across time are human and non-human alike. We are grieving the loss of life in this ecological crisis, and this is very real. And although activism and performance are not necessarily the same thing, they meet as a way to materialize the link between us, bearing witness with intention and giving us all energy and imagination for the future.
J'aimerais reconnaître et remercier les Gagnangahaga qui sont les gardiens de ces terres et ces eaux depuis des milliers d'années. Nous habitons et nous rassemblons encore une fois sur Jojage en Gagnangaha, Mounien en Anishinaabe-Moen. Et ce soir, nous sommes à l'intérieur de cet ancien volcan qui est l'île de Montréal, enterré et enrobé par la terre qui nous soutient. And tonight, we also wanted to bring up the idea of honoring the vigilant self, which came from a friend of mine who was trying to reconcile the changes of the past year, from a year ago, of how our bodies need to stay vigilant and how maybe they need to be less vigilant or vigilant in a different way. And just to recognize that we're all going through that and to thank that part of ourselves that has been working very hard. And for tonight, I want to also bring with us those who cannot be here, living or dead, together in solidarity during this time of crisis, which is a type of stewardship in itself of the continuity of our families and communities. And l'année passée, Signal Vibrant a eu lieu le premier soir de Rosh Hashanah. Et on entendait les chauffeurs sonner de Ursa, où on a présenté cette soirée. Ça m'a fait commencer à intégrer les cérémonies juives ancestrales dans ma vie, dans lesquelles il y a un thème récurrent. Lorsque nous nous retrouvons à l'obscurité, nous pouvons faire notre propre lumière, même si c'est simplement une flamme d'une chandelle. Et je veux remercier Olivia Sophia pour son installation à l'entrée, juste ici, qui nous offre justement ça. Nous parlons, moi et elle, depuis des années, sur comment nos pratiques artistiques pourraient mieux répondre à notre communauté, ses besoins, anxiété et deuil.
Le prochain artiste est ici en esprit. Il était censé être présent, incarné ici, mais finalement il n'a pas pu être des nôtres. Mais on voulait quand même souligner le cheminement qu'on a eu avec lui et vous inviter à prendre part à cette présence. Ce que je voulais partager avec vous, un peu en alignement avec ce que Nate vous a mentionné par rapport aux cérémonies juives. Pour ma part, ce dimanche dernier, c'était la cérémonie des récoltes chez les Wendat. J'étais à Wendake avec des amis et ils m'ont invité à entrer dans la Maison Longue. C'était pour danser, chanter et reconnaître que justement on était dans le moment des récoltes juste avant la cérémonie pour les morts, qui s'en vient plus tard. Et alors que je dansais, avec ma carotte. J'observais ma carotte et je sentais la densité et la densité de mon corps aussi avec cette chair. Et ça m'a rappelé aussi une conversation et en fait des enseignements de Kevin Deere, qui est un Kanikeraga, un aîné Kanikeraga, qui parlait du mouvement de la vie, d'expansion et de contraction, qui est en relation avec le cœur, avec notre cage thoracique, les mouvements des os qui va et qui vient. Et en tant que danseuse, ça a été vraiment bien perçu dans mon corps, cette contraction et cette expansion. Puis je me disais, avec ma carotte, ça c'est la contraction vraiment très incarnée qui va suivre la cérémonie pour les morts, qui est l'expansion. Et donc ce passage-là entre le matériel et l'immatériel, pour moi, c'est en relation avec l'absence ou la présence autre de Warren. Warren, tu es ici présent autrement. Merci d'avoir contribué et de contribuer à ce rassemblement. On va écouter. Warren est un danseur powwow, c'est un men's traditional. S'il était entré ici avec son régalia, qui est un habit traditionnel de danse, il aurait fait énormément de bruit et vous l'auriez entendu avec ses clochettes. Il aurait été très imposant, très coloré dans l'espace. On va entendre la musique sur laquelle il aurait dansé ce soir, qui est Kwe Kakina ou Hello Everyone, chanté par Northern Cree. C'est un chant powwow qui dure à peu près 3-4 minutes. Et pendant ce moment-là, je vous invite à aussi imaginer les personnes avec qui vous aimeriez partager, les personnes et les êtres que vous aimeriez partager ce moment précieux ensemble, ici. Les personnes vivantes et non vivantes.
Yeah, just to also say it in English for everybody understanding. Warren is a powwow dancer, could not be here tonight, but we'll listen to his music and also take this time. I invite you all to invite, while we listen to this song, do you invite the people who could not be here tonight, living or dead, who you wish could share this moment with you. Thank you.
Hey!
j'aimerais inviter Mehdi Jean-Pierre, un danseur pratiquant plusieurs styles de danse et spécialisé dans le popping et qui m'inspire beaucoup par sa connexion entre la danse et la spiritualité mythique africaine. Alors, Mehdi, je te remercie d'avoir accepté mon invitation parce qu'on ne se connaît peu, mais je vois vraiment une joie et un courage à habiter le temps d'une façon qui me ramène au présent. Et ça, c'est par Instagram, alors j'ai vraiment hâte de voir en vrai.
heureuse de pouvoir dévoiler mon nez. La prochaine proposition sera par Jean-Érian Samson. Jean-Érian Samson est en France en ce moment. C'est un invité que je voulais qu'il fasse partie de ce rassemblement parce qu'il a vécu un changement de territoire parce qu'il vient d'Haïti. C'est un Haïtien et il est né en Haïti et pour le confinement, pour en fait la pandémie, il était en France et depuis le début de la pandémie, il a dû rester en France. Je voulais souligner ce changement de vie alors qu'il l'embrasse, qu'il retrouve des repères dans ce nouveau territoire. Et je voulais qu'il exprime en mots, parce qu'il est poète, je voulais qu'il exprime en mots ce changement. Comment ce déplacement marque sa vie et aussi c'est quoi son attache et ses souvenirs par rapport à son territoire natal. Je voulais aussi mentionner que c'est le mois créole en ce mois d'octobre et il est également directeur de revue qui s'appelle De Crées. C'est un directeur de festival en Haïti, justement. Alors, dans ces mots, ce sera un poème qui sera présenté audio. Alors, on entendra sa voix un petit peu partout dans l'espace. Ce sera présenté 2 fois. Une première fois pour y entrer et une deuxième fois pour s'y établir. Le poème est aussi imprimé, disponible au bar, si jamais vous voulez le lire plus tard. C'est un poème qui s'intitule « S'il faut façonner la chute des oiseaux ». Je vous souhaite bonne lecture. Bonne écoute.
Efface l'éternelle partance. Les corps lassés de leur pesanteur, déchéance de l'âme, foule dans son vestige humain, barbelé au poignet, cri qui charrie la pénitence des horizons fougueux. Les risailles infidèles lèchent constamment le sel du sable tremblant froid, mouillé par tant de chagrin lorsque la mer geint son crépuscule. On entend encore ses plaintes. La lune de sa veille maudit l'abandon des étoiles lunaires. Il ne reste qu'un refrain à synchroniser au bal des cigales. Et les houles déposent la folie de l'oiseau sur le sable, comme un nouveau-né, abandonné, mais le cœur encore vif. Et l'oiseau tombe en tenant son cœur en alerte, telle une feuille précoce qui relie sa branche. Au loin, la brume fond l'aurore lorsqu'un nouveau jour tarde à venir. Enfouir aux confins de la terre des souvenirs indélébiles, étreindre le vent qui passe, son périple ravageur le convie dans sa démence. Aujourd'hui, le pain ne remplit plus l'estomac en quête d'amour. Non. Même dans toute sa douceur fragile, la pluie n'étanche plus la soif du désert. L'ennui n'est que reflet de temps mal nourri. L'oiseau tombe sur un coup de fusil. Le vent lui est hostile. S'il faut que les abeilles rouillent à travers les champs, déposent une caresse hâtive sur chaque pétale, s'il faut qu'à la place du béton, une colonie de fourmis s'invite au banquet des étals, avant même que les ombres s'éclipsent dans la nudité de la nuit, s'il faut façonner la fuite des nuages solitaires pour donner forme au poème. Puis l'oiseau se noie au bleu des mers, la nuit, paisiblement, seul. Une odeur d'algues glouit sa chute, l'ombre de ses ailes déteint le ciel, et l'étoile s'éteint timidement tel un deuil à défier le destin. D'où mènent ces pas indomptés, quand le vent dans son buissement efface l'éternelle partance. Les corps lassés de leur pesanteur, déchéance de l'âme, foule dans son vestige humain, barbelé au poignet, cri qui charrie la pénitence des horizons fougueux. Les risailles infidèles lèchent constamment le sel du sable tremblant froid, mouillé par tant de chagrin lorsque la mer geint son crépuscule. On entend encore ses plaintes. La lune de sa veille maudit l'abandon des étoiles lunaires. Il ne reste qu'un refrain à synchroniser au bal des cigales. Et les houles déposent la folie de l'oiseau sur le sable, comme un nouveau-né, abandonné, mais le cœur encore vif. Et l'oiseau tombe en tenant son cœur en alerte, telle une feuille précoce qui relie sa branche. Au loin, la brume fond l'aurore lorsqu'un nouveau jour tarde à venir. Enfouir aux confins de la terre des souvenirs indélébiles, étreindre le vent qui passe, son périple ravageur le convie dans sa démence. Aujourd'hui, le pain ne remplit plus l'estomac en quête d'amour. Non. Même dans toute sa douceur fragile, la pluie n'étanche plus la soif du désert. L'ennui n'est que reflet de temps mal nourri. L'oiseau tombe sur un coup de fusil. Le vent lui est hostile. S'il faut que les abeilles rouillent à travers les champs, déposent une caresse hâtive sur chaque pétale, s'il faut qu'à la place du béton, une colonie de fourmis s'invite au banquet des étals, avant même que les ombres s'éclipsent dans la nudité de la nuit, s'il faut façonner la fugue des nuages solitaires pour donner forme au poème. Puis l'oiseau se noie au bleu des mers, la nuit, paisiblement, seul. Une odeur d'algues glouit sa chute, l'ombre de ses ailes déteint le ciel, et l'étoile s'éteint timidement, tel un deuil à défier le destin.
I became aware of Shaista Latif because of a common friend and colleague, and when I discovered her writing, I was very thankful because I often found myself wordless, and I was grateful that she could share her words that wield the power of vulnerability, and I'm really happy that she's here tonight. Shaista Latif.
Hi everyone, you're allowed to stare at me, but I can't stare back. So you for as long as this performance lasts, and have your own mind in terms of what kind of person I am with your racial imaginary. say I am so full. My dad bought me this. We went on a weekend trip. We used a Groupon to Niagara Falls. That's where all the Afghans go to convene. They pack their rug, their kebabs, their rice, their salads. They put it in a cooler. They take it off to a little spot, and they watch the falls, and they go, wow, what a wonder. I'm constantly memorializing my family, my friends, every memory, knowing that it will all completely disappear. I don't know what I'm going to retain at the end of this life. Zindagi masta. Zindagi mastam? Zindagi asta? A friend tells me he speaks a very naive type of Farsi, the kind that children speak. Our fluency is not so clear. When you get a brand new pair of shoes and you wear them, you're supposed to say this phrase. Dushman zere poyam. Can you say it? Dushman zere poyam. You've all been indoctrinated now into my cult. What is the official saying? It means, may my enemies be under my feet. Hey, do you think I look Afghan? No. Fuck you. My mother just left quarantine hotel last Thursday. She came back from Afghanistan after 5 years. I haven't really talked to my mom in a very long time, but being that she's displaced the second time, I thought, well, احساس تنهایی دارم. My dad drove a cab for 30 years, and when we took this trip some years ago, he actually wanted to rent a little cottage by the water near Niagara on the lake, where all the white folk go, and there's a 365-day Christmas store that's open all the time. That is his fantasy. We didn't have the money to rent the cottage, so we got a Groupon and went to Niagara Falls. We stayed in a cheap hotel. We walked around the casino. I gambled $20. And then he kept telling me about one day, you're gonna get a cottage and live the Canadian dream. But I'd rather slit my fucking throat. There once was a girl, her name was Flowers. She lived in a forest far, far away. She lived among the deers, the hawks and foxes. All were free to roam, but all knew their place. Then the seasons started changing, and the winds grew colder every day. And the trees, they did not bear any fruit. when I was little, they'd always make me dance at all the little parties because they loved it. I remember the cigarette smoke, my parents drinking in the basement, hidden, the uncles yelling and screaming, the music playing, and then just falling asleep on a pile of coats in some corner where children were just running around, negligence all around. But I remember being lifted and picked up and still hearing the music and just having my eyes closed and being carried to the car. And I used to think these things were going to last forever. I used to think these things were going to last forever. I used to think, God, I want to get the fuck out of here with all of this saturation, this identity, wanting to be told who I am, wanting to be told who I am, wanting to be told who I am to other people constantly. But what if I just didn't fucking exist? What if I wasn't responsible for any single one of my fucking parents' memories? What if I wasn't responsible for history? What if I didn't identify like anything at all except being a piece of shit?
À venir performer pour nous, un artiste multidisciplinaire avec la maison Barbara, de El Barbara. I remember a conversation at the little park on Saint Laurent and Saint Joseph before you performed at Sala Rosa, and also your performance at La Chapelle recently. And I'm always very thankful and so appreciative of your spiritual sensitivity and beautiful presence. Thank you.
Bonsoir. Is everybody doing okay? Yes. First of all, thank you so much for coming and joining this beautiful space. Just give me 1 second, I set up my whole thing. I'll be right back. So basically, here we go. For the ones who don't know me, my name is Christopher Marlowe. Nice to meet everybody. Nice to meet you as well. And for the ones who know me as Miss Chris, or perhaps Christopher Barbara, this is the same person, different names, different hair. So basically, once again, for the ones who know me, you would have maybe been expecting me to show up in gold and jewelry and, carried by the beat of the drums, but tonight we're going to do things just a tiny bit different. So basically, I was watching a documentary a few nights ago about Grace Kelly. Does anybody is familiar with Grace Kelly? Yeah? We know Grace Kelly? Good, I like that. So basically, for the ones who don't know, Grace Kelly, before becoming Princess of Monaco, she used to be an actress. She won an Oscar, met a prince, married him, and then she had to say goodbye to Hollywood. But one part of the story that most people don't know is later on after the marriage, she had like a career renaissance as a spoken word artist and poetry reading personality. So that made me think, as a performer, that really opened my eyes, and I thought, you know what, for tonight, more than a body, I want to be a voice. Yeah. I want to be a voice. I want to speak for the people and, well, speak for the people that are not able to speak for themselves tonight, or just don't have what one would, the inner feeling that pushes you to speak up and stand up for yourself. I want to be that voice tonight. And to start, I want to read you some words by Diana Figueroa Ejizi. She's an amazing trans writer, actress, and poet from the United States. The poem is called Setting. We are in a temple, a place forgotten, but by trans folk, a recreated whisper of the voices of storms. Perhaps to some, it appears to be ruins of a discarded church. At first glance, a reflection of the universal one. Maybe we are in a graveyard. Goddess knows too many of our number have become bones too soon. A brothel, a place that they think is seedy, a masquerade for the aspiration of heaven, a home, one we all need, a safe place, a heaven for the fucked up powers and principalities of white supremacy. We are in a temple, the place where girls like us were first given vocation, given priority, given prominence, given the rights to be we, a recreation of reality of storms, born in whispers, found in dawning moon, and a walking night, a safe heaven from the fucked up principalities that attempt to make graveyards out of our bones. I believe in two things in this world. I believe in standing up for myself, and I believe in speaking up for myself as well. I believe that the moment that you decide to voice out your feelings, whether it be exhilarating bliss or just unspeakable sorrows, the first step is just to speak up for yourself. Because if you don't speak up for yourself, nobody will. And speaking up for yourself, I also believe that, once again, by voicing out those feelings, whether they be exhilarating bliss or sorrows, you just have to. It's kind of like let me gather my words. It's pretty much like an exercise, pretty much. It's an exercise where you have to be able to pinpoint, be able to see for yourself, and be able to see in the eyes of others. Because it's a self-acknowledgement, pretty much. By being able to voice out and ask yourselves the questions, why do you feel this way? One of the worst things that I believe I've experienced during the pandemic was loss of self. And I feel like a lot of people, depending on your identity or just, your background and everything that makes you the person that you are, a lot of us tonight have experienced over the past few years a loss of self, a loss of identity. Because living in the society that we live in, pretty much, we're used to create your personality and craft your appearance and the way you present yourself based on the way you'll be received. For a lot of people, that is in the way of, being a woman. At the end of the day, you have to craft your identity in the ways that you'll be received as such when it comes to patriarchy and white supremacy. But when it comes to girls from the same experience as me, the trans non-binary girls, the femme queens, bad bitches, a lot of us, and I speak for myself, but I speak also for a lot of my sisters, we have had this feeling, of what are you to become, what are you to be when you're not seen by others, when you're not able to communicate and form links with your community. We just spent the last 2 years, well, for most of us, I believe, I would like to believe, we spent most of the last 2 years, being locked up and not being able to see your community, to see your sisterhood, to see your siblings, to see the people that you love, to see the people that you don't appreciate even. And yeah. And once again, I can only speak for myself, but the poem that I'm about to introduce is something that I would like to call, loss of self, for lack of better words. Because I believe I'm living in the present, simply to build a foundation of my future. And as I embrace emotional critical thinking, save me from drowning in resentment. And may you keep me in constant nurture through the power of self-understanding. Emotional critical thinking and self-understanding. So, for the ones who are able to remember what I said a few minutes ago, if not, rest assured that's my job, I'll make you remember. So basically, emotional critical thinking and self-understanding. There used to be a time where I used to move around the world. That was before the pandemic. That was before the masks. That was before not being able to put on lip gloss because of the mask. That was before a lot of things. But basically, the identity that I used to craft for myself was mostly based on, like I said, the ways I would be received. I'm a trans non-binary person. I'm a trans feminine non-binary person. I'm very girly. I have an extremely deep voice. And I love a mustache. I'm gonna keep my mustache. But then you have to think of having all of these attributes in a society where now you have to wear a mask. So we're gonna go back. I'm extremely girly, check. I have a mustache, you can't see it. There's a mask, check. I have an extremely deep voice. You can't hear it as long as I keep my mouth shut, check. Fast forward, 2 months into the pandemic. I'm walking, minding my business per usual. And then, boom! Mademoiselle? Oui? You should have seen the look on his face. Happens often. Fast forward again to actually a few weeks ago, so we're gonna go. What's the opposite of forward? Exactly. So backwards. I'm in New York. I get to the airport. I'm in heels. I don't have a lot of sneakers. I don't like sneakers. So we're stepping inside the airport. We're at LaGuardia, an awful airport, might I add. So we're at LaGuardia. The lady comes to me. Ma'am, I turn. I don't say a word, because last time I said something, I was clocked. So I just nod. She asks you a question. I have to answer. I whisper, yes, of course. She goes, excuse me? I go, yes, of course. She goes, ma'am, you're gonna have to speak louder. I go, oui, yes, of course, I'm gonna do it. So where do I have to go now? Once again, you should have seen the look on her face. Honestly, at this point, everybody is always so surprised to see me. You would think I'm Beyonce. But that made me realize two things. I used to never give a fuck back in the days. Back in the days, I used to, I would show up with my little skirts, my good legs, and my deep voice. But now, because of the mask, it's becoming like not even a game of chess, it's a game of checkers, I guess. That's the opposite? Yeah, I don't really play those games. So basically, it's becoming a game of chess and checkers, depending on what you want to call it. You have to fit and some type of standards that were set before I was born and before everybody in this room was born. Those standards are pretty old. But then, you make those standards into, you have to make them fit into your own personal identity. It was pretty hard. It was extremely hard. I'm going to be very honest and I'll be serious. This is no laughing matter. It was definitely hard. But you know what made me realize one thing? As I was looking at pictures of myself, as I often do, I'm an advocate for selfies, for loving yourself, for standing up, speaking up, and look at yourself. Because only you will be able to tell yourself what you want to look like to others. Don't let others tell you what you should look like. You're not others. So, as we talked about the crafting of my self-expression in both personal identities, you also have to recall, there we go. So, that's the wonders of technology. We can go to the next song. Thank you.
Can't believe it's been 2 years already. 2 years of what? So précis. 2 years of having to depart from the collective we in order for us to understand our personal we. And those 2 years I had to dig deeper. I had to reflect on that to be able to understand her. And understanding her meant understanding her possible future. But with the latter came fear and disillusionment. You know, the hearts of human nature. Aujourd'hui, je la comprends beaucoup mieux. Nous en avons vu des choses avant d'en arriver là. Aujourd'hui, je reconnais ses délires capricieux. De ses pensées, elle a créé son univers. De cet univers, elle en a fait les siens. Nobody's mental escape is in the age of COVID. When having to depart from the we was in itself too fast, too sudden, too rapid. I guess then you could say, yeah, I fell off the shelf. In 2019, I experienced betrayal, but then I found faith. In 2020, I found peace, but then I was met with uncertainty. In 2021, I found clarity and faith, and in more than God, but in myself. Lord only knows what 2022 has for me, but I know she'll be there. Because through adversity and hardships, I have remained truthful, more than truthful. J'ai été fidèle à ma devise. Je fais ce que je veux. And now that I know her better, well, I'm able to understand her possible future, puisque je sais où elle va, car je sais qui nous avons été. As I had to reflect on them, in order for me to really understand her.
I had to become them in order to understand her. Them being people around, them being my past selves, them being what society would have liked me to be. Her being the person that I identify as. Her being the person that my mother raised me to be. Hi, Mom. Her being that my house mother, Al Barbara, crafted into. Her being the person that my sister called, hey, Miss Chris. Her being the person that my sisters call whenever there's an issue. Her being the sisterhood that I have with the girls that I call sisters. Tonight, I'm standing as them. Tonight, I'm standing as her. Tonight, I'm standing as all the ones before that were not even able to stand up for themselves, to speak up for themselves. I'm standing for the ones that have lost their battles during those last 2 years. For the ones that have lost battles, and for the ones that those battlefields were within themselves. We often talk about the dead and the ones that we have lost over the past 2 years, but there's often a lack of discussion concerning the ones we've lost to mental health, pretty much. I always say that your biggest relationship and your biggest battle will always be from within yourself. Because in the words of RuPaul, if you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? And I stand by that. I really do. I stand by that. Because it's only from the moment I learn how to love myself for everything that I am and for everything that I didn't even know back then I would be able to stand for. Tonight, I'm standing as them. I'm standing as her. Tonight, I'm standing for my past, for my present, and for the future version of myself. Tonight, I'm speaking up for myself. Tonight, I'm voicing out my feelings. And the biggest feeling that I'm feeling right now is happiness and bliss. Thank you.
prochain artiste, Franz Kirby Mathieu. Franz Kirby, j'ai passé beaucoup de temps avec lui à partir du 13 mars 2020. Alors qu'il était, justement, c'est une histoire commune à Jean et Rien, il a pris le dernier vol d'Haïti vers la France. Il a pris le dernier train de Paris jusqu'à Toulouse. Il a pris le dernier bus de Toulouse jusqu'à Agen et on est allé le chercher à Agen et tout a fermé ensuite. Il ne savait pas à ce moment-là qu'il n'allait pas revenir de sitôt en Haïti. Ça fait partie quand même d'un accomplissement, de réaliser un rêve quand même d'arriver en France et d'avoir une résidence artistique de poésie en tant que poète en France. Mais ça vient aussi avec des défis de s'établir sans le savoir pour plusieurs années. Maintenant, il est à l'université et il trouve des nouveaux repères. Je voulais justement continuer avec Franz Kirby pour vous partager ses mots, partager son éloquence, encore en poésie, encore en audio. Et c'est un poème qui s'intitule « L'homélie des Odyssées ». Cette fois-ci, c'est une seule écoute, alors soyez vigilants. Alors voilà.
Je suis un poème fleuve qui coule sur la lampe des chemins. Ma bouche torrent d'épave lovée contre une robe de chagrin traîne la mélopée des heures creuses de l'histoire. Chaque quartier de ma peau est un deuil, caisse de résonance d'aube fraîche qui font naufrage sur les franges des jours avortés que l'on ne peut remettre à demain. La mer est mon sang et les vagues couchent dans mes yeux. Mes hanches, des collines de sable qui chantent l'homélie des Odyssées pour écrire lettres ouvertes à l'horizon. Mes pieds abécédaires dans la valse des territoires, j'éclate des océans pour étendre mes bornes à la limite de l'infini. Ma chair est page blanche, où la frigidité de l'exil vomit ses ratures majuscules au nombril des minorités qui n'ont que le vent pour racine et la traversée comme passeport. Mes yeux récits de sang, regarde-moi et tu verras la mer. Lis-moi et tu sauras que mes veines sont caves à pays blessés. Je suis une mémoire d'encre, une soif de paix qui cherche la coupe du monde pour boire à l'oubli. De l'autre côté de l'exil, derrière la porte que la mer m'a tendue, j'ai cassé les codes de la route pour naître d'un accident, axure dans l'errance en quête de moi-même, en quête d'un poème qui fait naufrage sur la rive des lettres nous marchons, pour donner l'alerte à l'heure où dans nos champs les mitrailleuses gouvernent la rosée, nous marchons. Semer nos voix dans la maladresse du vent, ivre de cadavres qui font la queue sur les trottoirs, réclamer visa par l'au-delà, promesse des gâchettes. Nous voici cahiers de charge, aux rêves naufragés, au coucher de la mémoire des déracinements, brûler nos soifs de paix pour allumer des saisons de songe, où les frontières sont phares dans la noirceur du voyage. Nos voici à fleur du large, avec dans nos mains la saveur des accolades et nos cœurs tambours saignant jusqu'à l'épuisement. Le rythme de l'évidence, le rythme de la vie qui danse, danse, danse.
For the last performance of this evening, we have Sandy Silva, accompanied by Rick Hawthorne. Sandy Silva is a percussive dancer, vocalist, film producer, many things. Composer, choreographer, and who combines all of these in many different projects, like the Migration Film Project with Marlene Miller, which is how I met Sandy. I met Sandy a long time ago, and she was the first person that I thought of for this second edition of Signal Vibrant. When we had met, I was pregnant with Kai, sitting over there, and Sandy had recently lost her parents. And she had also recently made this piece called Lay Me Low, which I found extremely moving. So I'm very happy Sandy's here. And Rick is an incredible musician who has played with, amongst many others, I'm sure, a bunch of people, but Michel Rivard for many years, and Lassa de Sela. And I found out while they were rehearsing that my first concert that I ever went to, I think at the age of 6, at the Théâtre Saint-Denis, was Michel Rivard, and he was playing that show. So I think that's pretty fun. Without further ado.
Lay me low, lay me low, lay me low, where no one can see, where no one can find me, where show me the way, help me to say all that I need to, all that I needed you gave me, all that I wanted you made me. When I stumble gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move now, you gotta move. And when your heart is ready, you gotta move. You may be up, you may be down, you may be humble, you may be proud, but when your mind is ready, you gotta move. And when your soul is ready to fly, you gotta feel that strength inside. Can't be denied, it's so inside. You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move now. You gotta move. And when your heart is ready, you gotta move. And when your mind is ready, you gotta move. And when your soul is ready, you gotta move. I just want to thank everybody who works here and Nicole, Tan, the crew here, Jean-François. Anyway, just what a beautiful kind of ceremony for us to present work we've been thinking about. And anyway, we're going to end with a little song I wrote during pandemic, and right at that time I got a new hip, like 1 week before, so I had a lot of time to sit and reflect. So, anyway, thank you very much, and we really, all of us, appreciate you coming out tonight. Thank you, and those who are joining us on the web, thank you. Restless, weary landscapes blurry, memories, dreams unfold, mystery calling, gnomes falling, dream of life untold. Waters flow, ground sow, seasons carry me, winds blow, ice and snow, change will always be, change will always be. Sea and sky, the mountains guiding, desert's empty trace, Truth abiding, soul residing, long to find a place. Shadows grow, search to know, hear the call to roam. Moments grace, love's embrace, anchored in my bones, anchored in my bones. Shadows grow, search to know, hear the call to roam. Moments grace, love's embrace, anchored in my bones, anchored in my bones.
I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight and joining us, and especially thank you to all of the artists. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, to Sylvie and to Rick and to Chris and to Cody and to Shakista,
Jean-Yves, Warren,
Magdi.
Sandy.
Yes, Sandy again. Thank you, Sandy. You want to say a message?
No, I don't think we have any more messages. I think it's just the thank you at the end. Actually, there's one more message. At the end, when everyone leaves, you got to put your mask back on. That's it. But other than that,
You can also stay in the space for a moment.
Yeah.
There's the bars open. There's again Olivia's installation. We'll say goodbye to the live stream, but everyone else can stay
with masks.
with us.
Thank you. Merci.
Merci.
keep shining away. All those parties and crazy nights, we rode together, partners in crime. We were so young and never realized, and now it's time to say goodbye. We all sail on the river till it's time to fade away. We all know the day will come, but stars keep shining away. Yaşakım tişört bir şampetçet, Chinui chewan chimamat nenamdan, Wakachimayan kawit tamakuyan, Just na papakwepan et sitatan. We all sail on the river till it's time to fade away. We all know the day will come, but stars keep shining away. Every day when the sun goes down, I think of my friend early gone. Another long night in my long life. I'd been kicked another down. No, the cowgirls think I'm crazy in my hometown. Standing in line to buy myself a drink. Well, I thought I had my fill, but the great mystery knows how your story goes, and sometimes you live for the thrill. And that's how I got over you. No longer make me blue. She came singing like a highway, and I got lost in something new. Well, she said,
Keep your eyes on the road, your hands on the wheel, and your memory 1,000 miles away.
she sang to me, she sang to me.
In his cowboy hat,
In her faded jeans,
I could tell he was dressed to the nines, singing Grateful Dead
songs all night long.
10 Männer sprechen